So Stephen, Emily, and Wesley, and others who might be interested, I'm really excited to come spend Salvation Sabbath with you guys this Easter weekend. I don't know if there's a positive name for that Friday. This really sucks Friday? Can we call it something like, we just watched our Christ die on the cross Friday? Pain and suffering Friday? They buried God Friday? Do we really call it Good Friday? I feel like for Christians everywhere, that was a pretty terrifyingly bad Friday. A little bit too much hindsight bias involved in that statement for my taste. Quiet Friday. I'm saying I'm excited to come see you guys. So I would like to start off by saying thank you to the American Dream, because it's made a lot of things possible for me and for others who I also love and care about that would not have otherwise been possible. What's the American Dream? Well, it's pretty simple, Carl. The American Dream is this concept: if you work hard and you are a good citizen, you can overcome any obstacle that stands between you and your own freedom, safety, and peace of mind. Usually we sum it up as a dog, a cat, 2.5 kids, and a white picket fence. Essentially, the idea is that in this country, if you're willing to work hard, society is willing to give you a deliciously polite, peaceful, and safe environment to raise your suburban kids.
Sounds great.
But I'm not sure I'm buying what you're selling. Here's what I mean by that. I agree that if you don't work hard, your life's probably gonna feel worthless and meaningless. I'm not trying to say that I want to avoid working. I'm not sure I want to be bought. Yeah. I'm not sure I want my hours, my time, the time of my life to be bought and bartered for. Life is precious. Here's what I mean. So I once went to India. I spent some time in Calcutta. I spent some time in some rural rural. Does anyone know how to say that word like well? I feel like everyone just kind of. I worked in some rural dipstricts. I worked in some rural dipstricts. Those people had almost nothing. One of the things we often do as Americans, and some of the people with me were doing this too, so I understand it, is we kind of think, wow, their life sucks. And you know what? If you ask them, comparatively, they would probably say that their life sucks. I get that. They were still pretty happy. I'm not trying to demean the fact that they had a lot of diseases we don't have. Over the course of the time I was in India, which was not very long, I met a lot of people, and most of them were not well off. Most of them were very, very poor, much poorer than most of us can even imagine here. And they were still happy. But to me, that actually made a lot of sense. But back here at home, it seems like we're just so busy getting from point A to point B that we don't get to enjoy the entire area between. We're always so focused on the next moment that we don't get to enjoy this one right here. I'm not sure I have to participate in something I don't like. If you like what I had to say, or maybe you didn't like what I had to say, then I invite you to come along for the second video. I'm going to talk a lot more about how it applies to my life on an individual scale.